because it is a stiff-necked people, but in the land of their captivities they shall remember themselves.
That's what's happening now. Now we're remembering who we are, because this is the land of our captivity. It's evident in the history. This is the land where we bounced off from Africa during the transatlantic slave trade to serve hardcore slavery.
That's right.
You niggas are still limping off slavery. Alright? Now I want you to get Baruch 4 and 8.
Baruch chapter 4, verse 8.
I want you to hold Ecclesiastes.
Ye have forgotten, I'll start at verse 7. Baruch 4 and 7. For ye provoked him that made you by sacrificing unto devils and not to the Most High. Ye have forgotten the everlasting God that brought you up, and ye have grieved Jerusalem that nursed you.
Yup. Oh, the Most High brought us up, and we grieved Jerusalem that nursed us.
Right.
So why does it keep speaking about nursing and bringing us up? Because like we said, our whole purpose on this earth is to be like unto the Most High. Now what is the Most High? He's the king and he's the judge. But what did this, I don't want to skip forward, but what did it say in Revelation? We're going to be kings and priests. Right. And also said we're going to be judged, we're going to judge the earth. So if you have a son, your whole job is to mold him like unto yourself. So that's what the Most High was doing from the foundation of the earth until now. He was molding us to have the occupation of being a judge. As a matter of fact, I'm going out to spirit now. Could you get I believe it's Wisdom of Solomon 12 and 1.
I'm going to bring out the scripture in Ecclesiastes.
Right after you get Wisdom of Solomon 12 and 1.
Wisdom Solomon chapter 12 verse 1.
21, Salaki.
12 and 21. With how great circumspection didst thou judge thine own sons, unto whose fathers thou hast sworn and made covenants of good promises.
How did he judge us through captivity? Go ahead. Correction.
That's right.
Because it said foolishness behind the heart of a child, but the rod of correction. So that was the rod of correction. Go ahead.
That's right. Therefore, whereas thou dost chasten us, thou scourgest our enemies 1,000 times more.
So that cuss Esau, man, he gonna make it in the kingdom, man. That's 1,000 times more, man. But why did it say it's gonna do that? What was the whole point of judging us and correcting us through our enemies? Go ahead.
Therefore, whereas thou dost chasten us, thou scourgest our enemies 1,000 times more, to the intent that when we judge, we should carefully think of thy goodness, and when we ourselves are judged, we should look for mercy.
Yeah, but it's still when we judge, we should carefully think of thy goodness, man. Goodness, man. It's like we can't enjoy the kingdom and understand the greatness of it unless we have to go through this America shit, man.
That's right.
You know, and like I said, when we're judged, we should beg for mercy, because like it says in Jeremiah, judge me, but not according to your anger, unless you bring me to naught, man.
Right.
Because when the Most High judge, look at America. That's all I can say. That's judgment, man.
That's right.
But now I want you to go to Baruch 4 and 48. Excuse me, Baruch 4 and 8. But it said we judge, we should carefully think of thy goodness, man. Because he said with great circumspect does he judge us, man. We finna go into the occupation of judging people. We just rehearsing it right now, man. Like when you mold your son, he has to carefully think on his occupation that he's gonna take on to, man. You know? Like you might, on this side, you might reprove a brother or warn a brother, but he not gonna carefully think about how he's going off until he get punished for it. Like, man, the brother was right, I should never did that, you know? But you have to catch the hell first, you know? Alright, go ahead.
Baruch 4 and 8. Ye have forgotten the everlasting power and brought you up, and ye have grieved Jerusalem that nursed you.
Yeah, you grieved Jerusalem that nursed you, man. Alright, Ecclesiasticus 30 and 4.
Ecclesiastes 30 and 4. Though his father died, yet he is as though he were not dead.
Though his father died, he was as though he was not dead. Now we know the Father, Most High, is not dead. He's never gonna die. He's omnipotent, omnipresent. But basically, we finna take on the task of the Most High. Keep reading.
Though his father died, yet he is as though he were not dead. For he has left one behind him that is like like himself.
He has left one behind him like unto himself. So from this perspective, who is that talking about? It's talking about Israel.
That's right.
Hey, go and bring us Psalm 82 and 6, man.
82.
Go and bring us Psalms 82 and 6, you know.
Psalms chapter 82, verse 6. I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are the children of the Most High.
We are gods, we're the children of the Most High. Now, what does the word God mean? It means a Greek word that means judge. You have the power to judge. So the Most High is basically shaping us to judge.
And that word there in the Hebrew is Elohim.
Elohim.
Right.
Powers. Showing you that's talking about us, man. Can someone get that scripture in Corinthians where it says the saints should judge the world? 2 Corinthians.
You got it. You can get it out.
And okay, so you get Hebrews 12 and 23. You get Hebrews first, then you get that in Corinthians.
Alright. Hebrews chapter 12, verse 23. To the general assembly and church of the firstborn, which are written in heaven, and to the Most High, the judge of all, and to the spirits of just men made perfect.
Right. It said to the Most High, the judge of all. And from there, can you get Psalms 82 and 8?
Psalms chapter 82, verse 8. Arise, O God, judge the earth, for thou shalt inherit all nations.
Right. It said the Most High judged the earth. But then it said in Ecclesiastes 30 and 4, basically the son was like unto his father. So get that in 1 Corinthians 6 and 2.
Yeah, you said 2 Corinthians.
It's a lot, yeah. It's a lot.
I could have sworn it. 1 Corinthians 6 and 2. Do you know not that the saints shall judge the world?
Yep.
And if the world shall be judged by you, are ye unworthy to judge the smallest matters?
Right. It said the saints shall judge the world. Well, the Most High judged the world, but we're sons of the power. That's what Israel means. He's the prince of the power. First, he's a prince. Then he takes on the stead of his father. Once his father dies, he becomes the king.
That's right.
But spiritually, we're going to take on the role of the Most High and becoming a judge. Because really, the Most High is judging this place through us. But when King Solomon was in, like, I'm going to give you an example. When King Solomon prayed, he identified himself as being a servant of the Most High. And he was like, how will I judge this people? And it was like the Most High was judging the people through King Solomon. That's why the Most High set up kings. The kings were servants of the Most High. It was as though the Most High was on earth judging the people. That's why we call them. That's why he calls us servants and ministers, because it's a smaller version of yourself. It's a smaller version of the higher power. Like, I'm gonna give you an example. When Ezra spoke to, when the angel spoke to Ezra, you would get confused when the first read, because you were thinking, is that God speaking or the angel? But there was an angel speaking for God or the Most High. It was an angel speaking as though he were the Most High. That's why it says he was. Angel means what? Messenger. Right. So from there, get Isaiah 41 and 21.
Isaiah chapter 41, verse 21. Produce your cause, saith the Lord. Bring forth your strong reasons, saith the King of Jacob.
The King of Jacob. That's the Most High. So he's a judge and he's a king. All right, now we just showed you how we're going to be judges. So, but I want to hit back with the topic of the nourishment. It's 2 Ezra 8 and 12.
Second Ezra chapter 8, verse 12. Thou broughtest it up with thy righteousness, and nurturest it in thy law.
Ooh, he nurtures us in our law.
The correction.
The correction. And part of that correction was us going out from the law. And we'll have like a small chastisement. He'll set the Philistines to basically rule over us for a couple of years. That was a small spanking, man. That was a whooping. But you know, he said, fuck y'all, man. He gave us America. Because we kept doing it.
Yeah, he turned his back on us.
He turned his back on us and took his name from us so we couldn't call him the Father. But that correction was through the other nations.
Right.
But the nourishment was the law. Because what did we say in the beginning? The Most High likened us, he created us to be sovereign above all nations. He's training us to be like himself. And he gave us a guide. That guide is the law. But once we backslide from that law, like his son